Good afternoon, YouTube family. Martinez Country Home here. Today's Sunday, June the 26th, 2022. All right, guys. Um, my family and I went to the coast. We went down to Port Aransas, Texas, where we like to go. That's usually where we like to go to vacation. Um, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Um, that I don't know if it just a lot of things seem different this year. But what I wanted to talk about, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was on the way down there, right as we were getting close to Corpus Christi, I guess on the outskirts, um, we got to these wind farms. And the last time that we had been there, that we had gone down to the coast, was 2015. Um, Usually every summer since I was a kid, we've been going there. As a child, as an adult, when I had my own family, I've taken my family down there. For one reason or another, um, since 2015, we hadn't been down there. So we're getting over there, and I noticed the wind farms. Guys, it really blew my mind, how vast these wind farms are. Um, it 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 was uh, it looked apocalyptic, guys. Not trying to sound dramatic, or trying to be, yeah, I'm not trying to sound dramatic, but um, it it let me see here. See, that's better. There you go. Um, for as far as the eye could see, as far as I could see, guys, these humongous wind turbines were out there, all on both sides of the highway leading into Corpus Christi. I'm not sure how many acres they took, or how many, how long they are, um, how many acres it takes, or square miles, whatever. But they were pretty close to the road, to the highway. Um, I use the word apocalyptic because it. I know how they're pushing so hard for this green agenda, the green energy and all that. But from what I've from what I've read, and from what I've heard other people talk about, they're not very efficient. The energy that it took to make them, to maintain them, uh, it actually wastes more energy than what they put out. Something along those lines. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But it does say, I looked it up as soon as I got to Port Aransas. I started looking up some, you know, I'm on vacation, but I was like, I was so curious, like, what are these things? How big are they? And um, how much power do they supply to the city, or whatever region, right? And it said they supply a big amount of energy to the coast, to that region, right? Um, and opposed to that are other refineries that are in Corpus Christi, all the oil refineries. You got the ships with oil coming in through Port Aransas, and Aransas Pass, that the jetties, that little passage through there, going up to the refineries, bringing in the oil. It's amazing to see. We also saw very up close. Um, Probably my whole life is the closest I've seen these oil tankers. We're about to cross into Aransas Pass at the ferry, and those of y'all from Texas, in South Texas, if y'all have ever been Port Aransas, you know what I'm talking about. There's a ferry, guys, that takes you from Port Aransas to Aransas Pass, and across that passageway is where the big tankers, the oil tankers, deliver their oil up to Corpus Christi to the refineries, and then they make their way back. Well, while we were waiting across, we were already on the ferry, and one of these tankers crossed right in front of us, and it was huge, guys. I mean, it mind-boggling how big those things are and how they can stay afloat. Anyway, guys, it reminded me of when looking at these wind turbines, how big they were. and how they were just scattered across the landscape. It reminded me of like a Pink Floyd video or something. Uh, these big propellers like just turning real slow. Um, Very futuristic, guys. I mean, I guess people they get used to them, but that was the first time I seen them like that. I think I might have seen some in the past, but very far away and just a few. But I had never seen so many at one time, and how much they've. And then I was thinking, all the land that they take up. Do the farmers or the people that own that land, do they have to give up all that land, or is it still used to farm, or what? Because that took up a lot of space, guys. A lot of space. Um, so that was my experience going down there, guys. Like I said, it blew my mind, how much land it takes up. Um, the space, guys. Is it worth it? Is is the energy that it's providing, minus the land it's taking up, what that land could be used for. I don't know the facts. I'm just asking. Maybe y'all know. Maybe y'all can answer that question for me. um but it was mind-blowing, all that land that it took up. And it's farmland. I mean, you can see the farmland, like all in that area. I wonder how much land does it take away, land for farming. um is it, once it becomes a wind farm, is that land still used for farming or whatever? um so that was it. Like I said, it blew my mind, guys. And it really, uh an illustration of how hard they're pushing this green agenda. um Maybe they've improved the technology. um are we able to make those parts ourselves here in America, or do we have to import them from other countries? How does that work? Because if we have to import the parts for these machines, then we're still at the mercy of another country. Okay, and really, you know who I'm talking about, that big nation, in Asia. Because it seems like they already control too much of our they have too much control over our future, and over the survival of our nation. um so I get to Port Aransas, and Port Aransas is it used to be like a best kept secret in Texas, guys. I've been going there since I was a child. My mom and dad took us there. We used to camp out on the beach, put up a tent. We'd stay there the weekend. My dad would fish on the jetty, and that's how we grew up. That was where we would vacation. We go to the beach, Port Aransas. Um, when I was in high school, we go there for spring break. Um, Once I had my family, that's where I took my family to vacation, like almost every year without fail. Sometimes twice a year. A couple of times we've been there twice a year. Um, but a lot of the, it's very expensive. Very expensive. The taxes there for Port Aransas are like 13.5%, something like that, which is mind-boggling, because the sales tax here in my city is like 8%, which is still high. But Port Aransas, it's turned into a resort town. A lot of developers have like flooded the area, and there's hotel rooms and inns and cabins and B&Bs and all kinds of stuff there. And what amazed me, guys, was we are in the midst of a recession. Our economy is really being kept alive, basically, guys, by the Federal Reserve. They're printing money again. Um, Obviously, they're buying up the treasury bonds that nobody wants, keeping that 10-year treasury bond yield very low. But what amazed me was all the money that people are spending on there. I mean, The restaurants, guys, and once the evening got to be around evening time, they were jam packed. I'm talking about jam packed. There was people everywhere, waiting in line. The parking lots, there was no parking. People had to park along the streets. It seemed like all the hotel rooms, all any room available was taken up. Uh, and I mentioned to my wife, I go, man, these people, they gotta be putting this on a credit card, because I mean it's expensive, guys. It's really expensive, um, and then there is, of course, there is people that they do have that kind of money where they roll like that, you know. But it was amazing to me to see so much money being spent. Just, I mean, you know, it looked very, very busy. If there's a recession, or if this economy is in trouble, guys, you couldn't tell by being down there. You could not tell. Uh, but I do know a lot of those people, and I would hear, like, especially when we're in the gift shops and stuff. Um, you know, they're putting that on a credit card. They're, you know, they're basically getting those items fronted. You know what I'm saying? Um, they're it's credit. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the money. I mean, they're gonna pay it in the future. Whatever. You know how that goes. But my point being that uh, people are still going into debt, even though we're really we're really living in a recession right now. Um, but again, you couldn't tell by the way people are spending money right now out there. Um, I've said before in the past that I think the central banks can keep the economies going as long as they want, um, and as close as we were to these bonds, you know, getting away from the central bank's control, they just went and started buying them to bring down that yield. When these bonds start going up really high, when the yields start going high very fast, guys, that's trouble. And it seems like, I mean, they're gonna keep the economy going until they feel that, you know, until it's time to pull the plug and kill it. Um, that was what I saw. Um, so that was the other thing I saw. People still spending money like crazy. If there's a recession going, like I said, I've said before, Texas, it's not too bad yet. Uh, People still have work. Prices are high. The gasoline was very low over there. That was the lowest I've seen. Um, Gas down there was 4.34. Some places coming into town were like 4.25. So gas was low. The other thing, guys, that I wanted to talk about, um, and oddly enough, uh, Prepper Now was talking about it on his Rumble report, about how the powers that be are um, really getting people on each other's, you know, keeping up the racial tension, right? Um, so that to keep people distracted from the things that really matter, and to keep them distracted from who the real bad guy is, right? And I'm sorry to say that while I was down there, I did see a lot of that. It was a different vibe this time from the other years I've been there. Um, there was good people. They were polite. There was, you know, not everybody was, you know, there was some polite people, adult. But then I saw a lot of bad things down there, guys. As far as people, the way they were behaving and the way they were interacting, just the way the looks you get, um, which really doesn't bother me per se. But it does bother me because my children were there with me, my kids, and they're grown, kind of, they're teenagers. and they're kind of aware enough to know that what they're seeing. You know what I mean? Um, Everybody's entitled to believe or feel the way they want. That's their right. I don't got no problem with that. You know, you cannot force people to like another people, right? But I think uh, a lot of this, racism, whatever quote unquote racism you're seeing, it's being stoked by the powers that be, and that's the way they like it. It takes away the attention from themselves, and it keeps people at each other's throats. It's that churn. They have that churn going. If y'all don't know that term, the term is used in the corporate world to keep employees on their toes. Um, it's a tool that management uses uh, to keep employees in an agitated state, in a stressful state, um, to keep them more productive, I guess. To keep them, it's just a management technique that's used, and that same technique is being used on the people, guys. It it was a lot different. It was a very different vibe this time. Um, you know, but anyway, again, just a different vibe. Unfortunately, my I saw it for myself. My kids saw it, and again, this is America, guys. You can believe, you can feel how you want. You can, it's a free country, right? Like they say. But I know that uh, this these bad this the way people are looking at each other and being at each other's throats. It's it it it's 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 contrived, right? It's meant to keep people like that. The way what's going on with the open borders and the economy and the political the political parties, and you know what I'm saying, left versus right, Democrats and Republicans, which is it's a false paradigm. It's fake. It's used to keep people, at each other's throats, and I saw it for myself. But I also did see some really good people, guys. Some of those businesses, I've been going there for years, because they have good business, they have a good product, and so I spend my dollars there, um, and I'm happy to spend my dollars there. I like to see those businesses succeed, and so um, they're they have a good product. Um, they're very professional. They give me good service, and so I'm gonna reward them with my patronage. And so there was some good people there. I mean, I saw some polite people, very friendly. Um, but I did see some. Again, there was some, like anywhere. I saw good and bad. It just this time it was a little bit more, just people more in their, it's not as friendly. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's just the state of the nation, I guess, guys. State of world affairs. Um, but again, I we enjoyed our vacation. We know what's up. We put those bad things to the side, and we enjoyed the good. The beaches down there, the beach at Puerto Rentes was beautiful. It was very clean. The water looked clean. The last time I had been there, the water hadn't been. It looked kind of dirty to me. It smelled dirty, but this time the beaches had been they've been maintained very well. They look beautiful. We got some other amenities that weren't there before, so we had a great time, guys. I don't want to, you know, I'm just reporting what I see so that y'all can know, and I welcome any comments or any opinions that y'all might have. Um, you know, I welcome your comments, and I'm just letting y'all know what I saw down there. my thoughts, my opinions. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, if the economy is going down, if it's sorting down the toilet, you couldn't tell by the way people are spending money down there. Hopefully, hopefully the people stand up for themselves enough to make a difference and put the brakes on this, all this that's going on, all this, all this, all these things that the powers that be are doing to us. This psychological warfare, this warfare, because we are under attack, guys. So hopefully people use their voice and stand up for themselves and to make a difference, because it seems like there's a lot of things that we are making a difference, and hopefully we can keep it up, guys. So anyway, thanks for being here. Great to be with y'all again. Y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.